This presentation is on word processing. Today we're going to be using Microsoft Word. There are other word processing programs. For example, your netbook has OpenOffice, but for this presentation we're going to work with Word. Now most of you have a shortcut on the desktop to Microsoft Word. If you don't, you simply go to the Start menu, click on it, and it brings up all your programs. If you go to Microsoft Office, you can see the variety of programs from Publisher, Excel, PowerPoint, and we're going to select Microsoft Word. Now, every document, when you open Microsoft Word, will be document 1. That's something that we're going to have to learn how to change very soon. But this is what your document will look like. Now, we're going to look at a couple of the features. First off, in the upper left is a tab that you can click on. In this case, it's a circle. But as you can read on your screen, in older versions of Word, this button will actually be a File tab. And in fact, if you're using your netbooks, in OpenOffice it is still listed as File. But it functions the same. It has the same features, regardless of whether it's the circle or the file. But let's just take a look at what our options are for this particular menu. The first thing is if you want to create a new document, you have that option here. The next thing is if you already have an existing document that you've worked on previously and you want to open it up, this feature allows you to search for it in your various folders or wherever it happens to be so that you can access it and continue working with it. Now, this is one of the biggest issues that I see with students is they click Save and they fail to be able to find it later on. It's really important that before we're done with this lesson, you know how to save it properly. And that is with the Save As feature. This allows you to choose the destination or specify the location that the file is going to be saved in. It also allows you to change the format from a rich text to a PDF, etc. Now let's go ahead and look at the home screen. If you want to look at the font, it's nice to be able to change the font, but you want to be able to pick something that's has a good readability and it's not straining on the eyes or what have you. Now underneath the font where you choose which font you're working with are ways to make your font stand out. You can make it bold, use italics, or even have something underlined. The next feature would be adding bullets and numbering. If you want to make something stand out or have a list of items, use bullets and numbering can come in handy. The other thing is properly aligning your text. Do you want it on the far left, on the far right, or do you want it nice and centered to look neat? Now, typically, the spacing of your lines is either going to be single space or double spaced. That's the common. If you want single space, you'd go with the 1.0. If you double space, 2.0. But this is where you can set it to automatically do that so that you don't have to, hit the return key in between line. You can just do your typing and it will automatically format it for you. Next, I'd like to look at the Insert menu. This particular allows you to add a lot of different components to your document. The first would be to draw a simple table. This makes it very easy to choose the number of columns and or rows that you would like to select, and all you have to do is click on the table and then you just highlight the number of boxes with the corresponding rows or columns to fit your table, and it automatically formats it for you and puts it in there. Now, of course, you can change the parameters and heights and widths of columns and whatnot, but that's how you insert a table. You also insert a picture. Now, this could be a picture that you took with a digital camera, that you saved onto your computer. It could be an image that you have saved from the internet, but it's very easy to add images. The next thing is clip art. Clip art is a searchable database of cartoons and other images on a variety of topics that you can search and add as a component of your document. You can also insert a chart. Now we'll get to how Excel can be used to produce the data portion for charts, but if you just want to put together a simple bar graph or a pie chart, this is a really easy way to do it. It has a lot of pre-made charts and color-coded that'll make your document stand out, help you identify information that you want to share with your reader. The next feature would be word art. Word art adds a bit of design to your document instead of just using basic text. So there are a variety of styles that you can choose to use in your document there. Next, we'll go to the page layout. We're not going to spend a great deal of time with this, but the main thing I want for you to see is margins. There are proper margins when you get into different styles, whether that be MLA or APA, require certain margins and borders. So you can address those. Also, if something's printing out, not allowing you to print, you can change so that it includes that. Next would be just the orientation. That's how the page is set up. Is it vertically, top to bottom, or is it horizontally? This is where you can change that depending on what it is you are creating with your document. Next, you can insert columns. Depending on if you need information situated in that capacity. Next thing we're going to look at is some tools in polishing your document in the review portion. If you look in the upper left-hand corner, after you're done with your document, it's always a good idea to spell check it. This will ensure that you have not misspelled any words. Now, it doesn't catch everything. For example, if you use the wrong its instead of its with an apostrophe, it won't address grammar issues necessarily, but it will provide proper spelling. Next, you have the thesaurus and research portion that you can access and search things. Lastly, this is the view menu. This allows you to look at the print preview as well as just to change the way that the document appears on the screen.